Thank you, Mr. Chris Vale and our fantastic band for that outstanding performance. My name is Garrett Wiesinger, and I've been blessed with the opportunity to be the student body president at Sunrise Mountain. As student body president, it is my pleasure to welcome our family, friends, and our fellow students to the commencement program for Sunrise Mountain's graduating class of 2015. Please stand for the presentation of colors by Cactus High School's Air Force Junior ROTC and for the national anthem performed by Miss Tanya Bamey and the Sunrise Mountain Senior Choir. Following the national anthem, please remain standing for the departure of the color guard as well as for a moment of silence.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Okay. Thank you. Please be seated. I now have the honor to introduce our special guests. These individuals dedicate their time and effort into improving our district's elementary and high schools. And because of their contributions, the Peoria Unified School District continues to rank among the finest in the state. Would you please stand as your name is called? Peoria Unified District Governing Board President, Mr. Matthew Bullock. PUSD Superintendent, Dr. Denton Santarelli. PUSD Administrator for K-12 Academic Services, Miss Allie Bridgewater. Sunrise Mountain Resource Officer, Mr. Michael Oliver. We would also like to thank our administrators, our principal, Mr. Dave Savornik, and his dedicated team of assistant principals, Christine Gutierrez, Mark Faust, and Clay Carpenter. I would also like to recognize the Sunrise Mountain counselors and teachers who have challenged and inspired us to endeavor to persevere and to transform the societal norms of a high school student. Would SMHS counselors and teachers please stand? Thank you. Today, we will hear from 3 student speakers chosen for their academic achievements. Then the senior class officers will introduce the class gift. And finally, our principal, Mr. David Savornik, will recognize those students who have distinguished themselves academically. I would now like to welcome our first student speaker to the stage, Kenji Onaka.
Good afternoon, fellow graduates, District and Sunrise Mountain faculty, and family and friends. One of my roles as a speaker at graduation is to recollect on our shared high school experience. As those of you who know me might have guessed, I found this to be a fairly difficult task, and perhaps one of the hardest assignments of high school. And then I realized that perhaps my difficulty was not merely a personal problem, although the fact that many of you thought I was a robot at the beginning of high school probably didn't help matters. We may have spent the last 4 years on the same 1/10 of a square mile campus, but all of us took different paths to get here: graduation. Similarly, we are all taking varied paths from here, whether that means attending a college or university, joining the armed forces, or entering the workforce. At this point, I would like to disclaim that I am by no means an expert in philosophy or in life. If you're looking for that, you should try your parents. With that said, I would like to share a viewpoint which has served me greatly, and which I hope will find some resonance with at least a few of you, regardless of the path you have chosen. In my opinion, perseverance is one of the greatest qualities a person can possess. According to the all-powerful Merriam-Webster, whom I'm sure many of us have consulted before, perseverance is the quality that allows someone to continue trying to do something even though it is difficult. To me, it is not nearly so cut and dried and emotionless. To me, perseverance is striving to accomplish something of some value to the individual in spite of all physical, intellectual, and emotional anguish and suffering which obstructs the realization of that goal. For the first time in many of our lives, we have the chance to make decisions which have a real and lasting impact on the remainder of our physical existence, be they career, education, or relationship related. One word which I include in my definition of perseverance that was omitted from Merriam-Webster's is individual. One's goals and aspirations are highly individual, and what one person may deem worthy of perseverance may seem inane to another. In life, it is doubtless that someone will tell you that you are wasting your time or pursuing an impossible dream. I am sure that this may have already happened to many of you, but as long as it is worthy to you, it is worthy of your perseverance. Now that we possess the ability to make life-changing decisions, it is our responsibility to ensure that we are actively shaping our lives and not allowing someone else's ambitions or naysaying to persuade us. Never let obstacles, whatever they may be, dissuade you from pursuing a dream. With that said, it is just as important to realize that life is a flexible and fluid experience, and we must sometimes bend with change rather than be broken by it. On this special day, remember to thank the people who have shaped you and made you who you are. I would like to thank my parents, Nancy and Hideshi, my sisters, Naomi and Lena, and all of my teachers, but especially Mr. Faust, Mr. Raymond, Mrs. Raleigh, and Mr. Wilson, for inspiring me and for the unique role each of them played in getting me to where I am today. I wish all of you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Congratulations, Sunrise Mountain Class of 2015. Now I would like to introduce Abby Jackson, our senior class president, and Leon Yap, our senior class vice president, to present our class motto.
Hello, everyone. My name is Leon Yap, your senior class vice president. I feel incredibly privileged to stand before you all today to help present the senior class motto.
And my name is Abby Jackson, and it has been not just an honor, but a blessing to have been your senior class president.
Andre Gide once wrote, "Man cannot discover new oceans unless he has the courage to lose sight of the shore." This motto exemplifies our senior class. We have already managed to discover new oceans just in the past 4 years. No other class has illustrated such extraordinary levels of ambition and determination, and no other class is as imaginative or creative as Sunrise Mountain's class of 2015.
I know this motto can resonate with all of us, and with me especially. Before high school started, I decided to try out for the cheer team at Sunrise. Now, I don't know if the judges weren't paying attention to me when I tried out, or maybe they just felt bad for me, but I made the team. So I naturally thought this was a fluke, and I even started to think that the hair tie that I was wearing at the time was lucky, which is why that hair tie has held the same spot on my wrist ever since. Every class, every test, every football game, even every shower in high school was spent with me wearing this gross hair tie covered in duct tape. But now, standing before you 4 years later, I realize that me wearing it for 24/7 throughout all of high school wasn't luck at all. It was just me keeping sight of one of the most familiar shores I know, which is why I've decided to finally cut it off.
It's time for us to let go of familiarity, to experience new challenges and adventures. I hope you all can join us in discovering new oceans. Let's depart from our shores, or in Abby's case, cut off our lucky hair ties. It may seem unnerving to move on to the next chapter of our lives, but I have confidence that we are ready to uncover more of what this life has to offer.
Thank you. Now I would like to introduce our next two speakers who were chosen because of their academic excellence. First, we will hear from Ryan Fagan, and then he will be followed by Sydney Adamonis. Thank you.
Hello, class of 2015. My name is Ryan Fagan, and it is my honor to speak before you today. Many of you I have known for a long time, some for over a decade, and yet others I seem to have only met yesterday. From the long nights spent on mountains of homework to surviving the Mongol trials, there have been a lot of difficult things throughout high school, and there have been some great memories too. Competing in state championships, cheering wildly at games, and simply enjoying the time we share together. I'm happy to have seen so much with you. It has been an unforgettable experience. I want to address and thank the teachers and staff. Many of us have gotten to know them very well over the past 4 years, and we know how much you sacrifice for us and how many times you've put us before yourselves. Please join me in giving them a round of applause. We have seen many faces as principal in these 4 short years, and I believe Mr. Savornik is the best of them. What sets him apart is his compassion for the individual and the way he cares about the little things. Every day I see him walking around picking up trash or helping out, and though it seems small, that attitude has made a huge difference. He has been a great principal for us, and I know he will continue to be one for years to come. Mr. Savornik, thank you. Look at us now. After so many years sitting through class after class, we are finally ready to close this chapter of our lives. The last 13 years were to prepare us for what is coming next, our freedom to choose what we want to do. In the beginning, our decisions were small and limited, In high school, those choices became more significant and impactful. We decided which electives to take. Some of us chose art, while others focused on science or literature. We tried out for sports or joined clubs, competed in state and national competitions. All of us began to do something, to take a real and lasting choice to broaden our horizons. Now we sit here at the next starting line, waiting for the gun to fire and send us running forward. And for the first time in our lives, it will be on our own path. There won't be a safety net, but there won't be anything to hold us back. All of us are seeking something. We each have a goal that has emerged from within ourselves, growing as we take each step closer to a purpose, to that place in our lives that we can call our own. Some of us seek fame and recognition through sports or entertainment. Some strive to take up arms and defend our nation and everything it stands for. Some of us will seek to continue our path of knowledge to discover more about the world than we had ever dreamed possible. I want each and every one of you right now to close your eyes and think of what you want for yourself. And know that this is all that matters going forward, to make that dream your reality. Each and every one of us has a desire to do something, and we cannot afford to waste that. We have more energy, more drive, and more opportunity than we have ever had before. And with this new freedom to face challenges, we have to remember, do not bend to hardship, and there will be hardship. But with that hardship, we will all hone our skills and passions, making the road ahead our own. All I can ask of us is to take that freedom and make something worthwhile. And don't do it for your parents or for others' expectations. Cast aside what everyone demands and instead strive for what we want to be, what we want to see in ourselves. That step towards making our lives our own is the hardest one because it is bold and daring and frightening, but it is one all of us need to make. I believe that we not only have the ability, but the strength and passion to carve out a new path for ourselves and the world around us. Be an example of what it means to have freedom. We have the power to guide our futures and our destinies. The choice now lies in our hands. We have the freedom to make our future exactly what we want it to be, and that is our greatness. Let's hear it for the Sunrise Mountain Class of 2015. I would now like to introduce our next speaker, Sydney Adamonis.
Hello, parents, families, teachers, and soon-to-be graduates. It's graduation day, and believe it or not, it has been a dream of mine ever since freshman year to speak on this day. And I can't believe that I'm actually here. So please bear with me, and I need to make sure that I remember this moment. And since there are no cameras or phones allowed down here, I will have to settle on taking a mental picture. So smile, click. Oh, dang it, some of you guys blinked. Now that's in my brain forever. Okay, so I know all of you are in a hurry for me to get through this speech and get your diploma and be done with this whole high school ordeal. But right now, I ask you for this moment. I want you to slow down and be right here, both physically and mentally. In return, I will try not to completely bore you to death. Deal? Now, I've been talking for about 30 seconds. Doesn't feel all that long, right? Well, I did the math and discovered that we have all spent about 18 million seconds in class at Sunrise. 18 million. Now, take a moment and think of how many of those seconds you were staring at the clock, wishing for it to be over. Well, now it is. And I think more than a few of you are thinking back and realizing just how much you are going to miss your high school years. That doesn't mean you're not excited for your next chapter, but you have to admit, so many things happened there. I hope you realize that the time you spent here with these people was precious. And sure, listening to lectures and working on homework may not have been the most exciting or entertaining thing to do. It was something you will never have the chance to experience with these people in this place ever again. This should help you realize that you need to take advantage of every moment you have, because before you know it, that moment will have passed and disappeared forever. Take this knowledge with you to wherever life takes you next. because your time is limited and every second that you are wishing to be somewhere else is another second wasted. Now, before I go any further, I must thank all those who have given me nothing but support and encouragement, starting with my family. Mom, Dad, I have only one question for you. How in the world did you do it? You supported every crazy idea that I came up with and called me down every time I freaked out, which could not, may I say, have been easy. I cannot put into words how thankful I am for everything you have done for me. Cheyenne, thanks for teaching me to let my hair down every once in a while. Otherwise, stress probably would have led me to pulling all of it out. All of my patience and focus I owe to my younger brother, Reese. Sure, you may have a big mouth, but you have an even bigger heart, and I appreciate all the times your ridiculous shenanigans brought a smile to my face. I now have some great conversation starters. I would also like to send a few shout-outs to teachers who have made the 4 years at Sunrise so great. Mr. Kidd, thank you for all of the countless opportunities you have provided me, along with all the countless dumb laws you have informed me of over the years. I'm sure knowing that I cannot drive a camel down the highway in Nevada will come in handy one day. Thank you, Mr. Reiser, for teaching me all of the Spanish I will ever need to know, which would be porque me gusta. Thank you, Miss Story, for opening my mind to so many movies and documentaries that I otherwise would never have even known existed. You made me question the world's perspectives and also whether or not the Mongols were civilized. Thank you, Mrs. Herman, for being able to cram an entire year's worth of information into only a few months of class time. Now, when someone asks me about cell transduction and Ligon-gated ions, I can honestly tell them that at one point in my life, I knew the answer. Thank you, Mr. Rath, for years of tennis and fantastically bad puns. And finally, thank you, Mrs. Raleigh, for proving to me that there really are people out there who honestly find math fun. I would also like to thank Mr. Vale and all my friends who pushed me to join band my final semester. You convinced me that not having any musical experience whatsoever was not a problem, because concert band was, and I quote, a class full of beginners. You 100% lied, but I'm glad you did. My appreciation for music has skyrocketed, and I can honestly say that by the end, I was playing at least half of the notes correctly. Now, before I return to my seat, I would like to leave you with a final word of advice. Once you leave this stadium with your diploma in hand, go out and find your passion. Find your passion and make a career out of it. Don't ask if that is possible, only start asking how that is possible. It is very easy to come up with a reason why you cannot do something, but listen closely to what I have to say next. That so-called reason is baloney. If you want something enough, nothing can stand in your way. Not a person, not your schedule, not a thing. It may not be easy, and you may have to sacrifice a few things, but you should never blame your shortcomings on someone or something else. Take responsibility. It is your life and your decisions. As Mr. Faulkner always says, if it's important to you, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse. I believe all of you have the potential to achieve your dreams. So go out and do it. Thank you. Our senior class secretary, Kaylee Savoya, will now present our senior gift. Accepting the gift is our principal, Mr. Dave Savornik.
Good afternoon. I'm Kaylee Savoya, your senior class secretary, and I'm here to present the 2015 senior class gift. This year, the senior class decided to focus on beautifying our campus. We began this lengthy process by replacing the original scoreboards in our main gym that were over 18 years old. Next, we added 2 grass areas with trees outside of the front office for everyone to enjoy. We also thought it was a perfect addition to incorporate custom Sunrise Mountain benches and trash cans placed around the campus. These gifts provide a refreshing pop of color to the campus we all love so much. We hope that they will be enjoyed for many years to come, and that future classes will continue to contribute to the beautification of Sunrise Mountain High School. Thank you. It's been an honor serving you all, the class of 2015.
Thank you, Kaylee. On behalf of Sunrise Mountain High School, I proudly accept the senior gift. Your generosity is very much appreciated, and the class of 2015 will most certainly always be remembered. I'd also like to just make a brief comment about what Sunrise is about. It's a place where a 53-year-old man can arrive, take more than he gives, and then be thanked for it by Ryan and the class of 2015. God bless you guys for that. Thank you very much. I'd also just like to take a brief moment to introduce our newly appointed board member who was kind enough to join us here today as well, Mr. David Jonigan. Thank you, sir, for celebrating with us. Graduates, parents, family members, friends, staff, and honored guests, at this time, I would like to introduce and recognize our graduates who have achieved academic excellence. First, we will recognize those students who are members of the National Honor Society. Each student has been duly noted in the program. National Honor Society members, would you be so kind to stand and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Next, I would also like to recognize those students who are graduating with honors, which means that they are in the top 10% of an impressive class of 2015. As I read your name, please stand and remain standing as I call through the entire list. Sarah Gilmore, Adam Gray, Kevin Dam, Aspen Fearon, the generous Kaylee Savoya, Lene Zurich, Sierra Hiddleston, Alexa Luna, Paul Wynn, Carter Priolo, Kristen Dieppe, Natalie Masters, Taylor Martinez, Cameron Brown, Janelle Broderick, Mary Phillips, Megan Freeman, Sierra Pritchard, and Alyssa Scott. Congratulations to all. Thank you, and you may be seated. Next are those graduating with high honors, which means they're in the top 5% of their class. As I read your name, again, please stand and remain standing. Ryan Fagan, Cassandra Jones, Brent Eccles, Alexandria Stevens, Jillian Teresa Yap, Ryan Sampe, Bailey Nelson, Shaylee Jackson, Alyssa Santa Cruz, Adam Kemp, Marley Elward, Emily Heathcott, Morgan Lee, Kyle Morris, and Maggie Richards. Congratulations. Thank you. You may be seated. And now, for the three students graduating with the highest of honors. Graduating in the top 1% of the class of 2015, as I read your name again, please stand and be honored. Kenji Onaka. Sydney Adamonis. And Tanner Sutcliffe. Congratulations. Thank you. You may be seated. This year is a special year. We will be graduating our first University High student. University High is an accelerated program in which students take 28 high school credits of the most rigorous courses. They also take a minimum of 6 AP courses and earn 30 college credits. Michael Tiger Mans, please stand and be recognized. Congratulations to Michael, the first of many University of High graduates. Thank you. You may be seated. Sunrise Mountain would also like to recognize those students who have successfully completed a CTE program of study. Those students are wearing the graduation endorsement medal. Will our CTE graduation endorsement recipients please stand and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Next, I would like to honor the senior members of Sunrise Mountain's Successful Student Council. Would those members please stand and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. I would also like to take a brief moment to recognize our 3 foreign exchange students who have blessed our campus this year. As I read your name, please stand. From Germany, Pauline Hoffmann. Teresa Sauermann from Austria. And from Sweden, Eric Adling Tuffvessen. Thank you. You may be seated. You will certainly be missed as you return home, but we absolutely appreciate all of your contributions to a successful school year on the Sunrise Mountain High School campus. Before we present the graduates, I would like to as well point out that many of the seniors sitting before us are wearing purple and white cords for exceeding 1, 2, or all 3 of the state Ames assessments. The academic excellence demonstrated by the class of 2015 has earned them in excess of $8.3 million in scholarships. Congratulations and thank you. And now I will present the class of 2015 to our governing board president, Mr. Matthew Bullock. Class of 2015, please stand to be recognized. Mr. Bullock and numerous honored guests, with pride and pleasure, as principal of Sunrise Mountain High School, I certify that each of these students standing before you has met the requirements for graduation as set forth by the state of Arizona and the Peoria Unified School District. I present this class to Mr. Matthew Bullock, President of the Peoria Unified School District Governing Board, Mr. Bullock, I respectfully request that you accept these graduates and that you confer diplomas on them.
Before we do that, though, how good looking you are. If you don't mind, as I recognize your awesomeness, do you mind if I get one picture? You know what's interesting is that I'm looking back when I graduated from high school, which is right around the time that the Wright brothers had their first flight, so quite a few years ago. And about 2 years after I graduated from high school, they came out with the first cell phone, and it was the brick. And we called it the brick because, well, it was the size of a brick, and it had an antenna about 12 inches coming out of it, but we were cool. And it cost 38 cents a minute to work your cell phone. Why do I bring that up for you right now before you're about to graduate? Because about 10 years after that came out, the first flip phone came out. And about 6 or 7 years later, the first smartphone came out. And you think about it, because we all use these now, you wouldn't even recognize the old phone that I grew up with. If you think about it, what will this look like in the next 10 years? I thought to myself, I have no idea, but you know who does know what this is going to look like in 10 years? You guys do. And you know why? Because you're going to create it. Will it be in our hand? Will it be a little chip in our ear? Will it project out like a heads-up display? I have no idea, but you're going to create it. And you know what else makes you so amazing? You are going to create the first hydrogen-powered car to eliminate batteries and gasoline. That's what you're going to bring to this world, right? You're going to create cures for diseases that plague parents, grandparents, brothers, and sisters. Your group is going to do that. You may think right now, I just graduated from high school, who knows what my future is? But I'm going to give you a taste of it. You are going to create the things that are not only going to make America continue to make the most amazing country in the world, but you're going to make things that help us to be happy and productive and, quite honestly, really cool. So one thing before we get going here, you know it takes a village. You've heard that, right? It takes a village to raise a child. If you look behind you and you look up here as well, you're going to see up in the audience parents and teachers and grandparents and relatives and all kinds of friends. Do me a favor. I want you to turn around, and I want you to identify with your young, bionic eyes one person in the audience who has meant something and helped you to achieve the success you did tonight. On the count of three. You know what, parents and friends and guardians, I want you to sit and I want you to be recognized for what you did. You just honored your graduates. Now, graduates, I want you to turn around, identify somebody who you know if you can. On the count of three, I want you to give a heartfelt thank you to someone who helped change your life and bring you to this point of success. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Now we can complete it because, quite honestly, they helped you, and now for the rest of your life, you're going to help them. So, Mr. Svornik, I'd be happy to accept your offer, and on behalf of the governing board of the Peoria Unified School District and by the authority vested in me by the state of Arizona, I accept this recommendation that the Sunrise Mountain High School class of 2015 has met the requirements for graduation. Mr. Svornik, please present these graduates to receive their diplomas.
Thank you, Mr. Bullock. Class of 2015, you may be seated. Governing Board President, Mr. Matthew Bullock, and newly elected school board member, Mr. David Jonigan, will now begin presenting the diplomas to our beloved students. Our athletic director, Mr. Mark Faust, and our senior class sponsor, Mr. Nick Reiser, will announce the names of our graduates. Would the first two rows please stand?
Go ahead and move forward, please. Garrett Hughes Wiesinger.
Haley Teresa Laddie.
Kenji Ross Onaka.
Sarah Beth Lozon.
Abby Noel Jackson.
Michaela Layton.
Leon Teresa Alonzo Yap.
Michael Paul Lazara.
Ryan Alexander Fagan.
Danielle Renee Lacaro.
Sydney Shea Adamonis.
Devon Lee.
Kaylee Nicole Savoya.
Morgan Taylor Lee.
Jamila Shakoram Abdel Hakim.
Jacob Michael Leonard.
Tatiana Sandra Acosta.
Scott Aaron Lightcap.
Tyler Acuna.
Brendan Van Vuren Lightfoot.
Alexander Jason Adams.
Abigail Marie Lister.
Angus Brody Alexander.
Adam James Lopez.
Emily Elizabeth Alexander.
Alejandro Lopez.
Frank Ryan Alvarez.
Benjamin Isaiah Lopez.
Randall Braden Arnold.
Richard Perez Lopez.
Alec Corey Arroyo.
Sierra Marie Lugo.
Hannah Ashcroft.
Alexa Rain Luna.
Bailey Joe Ashworth.
Eric Noel Lundberg.
Chelsea Raylene Atkinson.
Adriana Jesse McDonald.
Taylor Rayanne Ayers.
David Matthew Macias.
Marley Jenna Alward.
Alexis Shea Macy.
Braden Richard Bach.
Hope Francis Medea.
Brian Richard Bacon.
Margaret Victoria Magadan.
Alexa Gray Bailey.
Michael Basil Mamu.
Christopher Daniel Baker.
Michael Tiger Mans.
Camille Deshawn Ballard.
Janina Margot.
Caitlin Renee Barnes.
Lucas Daniel Marquez.
Catherine Elise Barnett.
Taylor Marie Martinez.
Brianna Lee Barrow.
Natalie Rose Masters.
Miranda Blaze Battle.
DJ Mastriona.
Caitlin Lee Buffo.
Robert Donald Maurer.
Brianna Jane Begay.
Emma Louise Mayberry.
Brianna Rose Byerly.
Caprion McCann.
Centauria Nashay Belcher.
Michaela Nicole McClure.
Malachi Elijah Bennett.
Zachary Ryan McConaughey.
Jimmy Bentu.
Megan Elise McGovern.
Clara Benyamin.
Jacob Ryan McGuire.
Brandon Kyle Bergen.
Austin Ross McIntyre.
Michaela Sue Bertram.
Kaylee Denise McEwen.
Hannah Elise Biesmeyer.
Luis Mendoza III.
Amy Joy Biera.
Katie Aline Miller.
Ovi Beerson.
Craig Anthony Moore.
Blake Michael Bauer.
Kyle James Morris.
Nicholas Boligar.
Emily Nicole Moses.
Ryan Daniel Benet.
Allison Eleanor Moat.
Aaron Alvin Booth.
Alina Raylyn Motley.
Joshua Garrett Bowers.
Alicia Lynn Moymont.
Michael Lewis Bralish Jr.
Stephen David Mullaney.
Justin Lee Braun.
Emily Unji Moon.
Brianna Lynn Brixon.
Brandon Anthony Murphy.
Savannah Allison Brimley.
Lauren Ann Myers.
Janelle Broderick.
Bailey Paige Nelson.
Jacob William Brooks.
Kyle No.
Cameron Keith Brown.
Paul Nguyen Nguyen.
Katie Marie Brown.
Tatum Shay Nolan.
Danielle Josephine Bacola.
Dallin Deshay Olamani.
Matthew Emery Buchanan III.
Bridget Angelica Olson.
Cassidy Lane Burcham.
Kyle David Olson.
Emilio James Bergwan.
Courtney Lynn Oram.
Brandon Daniel Burnett.
Zachary Taylor Ortega.
Bailey Nicole Burns.
Anna Marie Osborne.
Matthew Joseph Barola.
Landon Christopher Page.
Ashley Ray Bush.
Andrew Ranjit Pal.
Cooper Leroy Byer.
Alexandra Nicole Panacci.
Nathaniel Wayne Carlson.
Trent Jacob Paskowitz.
Alicia Carpenter.
Sandra Waleed Paul.
Bailey Jean Alexandra Celia.
Brooklyn Patrice Pelland.
Angelina Jade Seta.
Lauren Lee Pensinger.
Whitney Renee Chamberlain.
Cassandra Lynn Petrozella.
Tanner Gerald Chase.
Trenton Dewey Ferris.
Savannah Christine Chavaria.
Sydney Taylor Phelps.
Marlene Sharop.
Mary Madison Phillips.
Andrew Michael Christie.
Colin Ray Pipkin.
Alexia Jeanette Cipriano.
James Padobia.
Tabitha Ann Suzuki.
Jennifer Padobia.
Joshua Kenneth Klein.
Nina Mary Pohl.
Nicole Ann Columbi.
Angela Jeanette Pawiziak.
Wyatt James Conway.
Michael Joseph Preble II.
Brennan Austin Cord.
Carter Alexander Priolo.
Sarah Marie Casenza.
Sierra Lynn Pritchard.
Javin Thomas Coughlin.
Ryan Hale Pruitt.
Elisa J. Craig.
Zachary Patrick Pruzinski.
Kelly Nicole Creed.
Carly Marie Puricelli.
Travis T. Curtis.
Austin Raj.
Riley Shea Delaire.
Jada Jessica Rance.
Kevin Dam.
Brianna Christine Ray.
Mariana Fan Dowd.
Brittany Nicole Ray.
Caitlin Ashley Dastrup.
Sarah Renee Ray.
Josiah Caleb Datria.
Seth Roy Riadigi.
Joshua Stephen De La Vara.
Isabella Brooke Reeder.
David Caesar DeMoss.
Maggie Bruce Richards.
Tristan Ralph Decker.
Tyler Matthew Richardson.
Aaron Weissman Denham.
Emily Jane Robinson.
Andrew Seth DePee.
Brendan Kyle Rogers.
Tristan Ong Deep.
Caitlin Rita Rodriguez.
Cameron Dillinger.
John Michael Rodriguez.
Kevin Ian Dillingham.
DeAndre Jordan Rogan.
Alexandra Ann Dillmore.
Jesse Clark Rojas.
Sarah Christine Donahue.
Tia Elise Rose.
Daniel Victor Dorsch.
Garrison James Romero.
Henry Austin Durham.
Hannah Elizabeth Romero.
Savannah Marie Dykeman.
Zachary Israel Rothschild.
Tristan Robert Alec Dyer.
Cassandra Lee Rominski.
Brent Thomas Eccles.
Alyssa Marie Sabatel.
Chantel Marie Elliott.
Ryan Daniel Sampe.
Brant Taylor Elrod.
Carlos Alberto Samplina.
Jack Andrew Emmert.
Matthew Patrick Donovan Sandoval.
Michaela Ray Emmerich.
Teresa Sauerman.
Jacob Scott Erickson.
Brooke Catherine Schottner.
Mark Stephen Exposito.
Joseph Timlin Shadamandel.
Zachary Stephen Farias.
Brittany Paige Marie Schlichting.
Britton Robert Farnsworth.
Tyler Alexander Lloyd Schlink.
Mary Caitlin Faulkner.
Megan Mary Schneiderman.
Aspen Joe Fearon.
Alyssa Nicole Schott.
Sebastian Xavier Fernandez.
Garrett Walter Schragi.
Kaylee Rose Ferreira.
Daniel Stephen Schultz.
Zachary Charles Fellows.
Dylan McCoy Schwichtenberg.
Austin James Fetzer.
Kessler Davis Schofield.
Randy Marie Fennell.
Alyssa Ann Santa Cruz.
Joseph James Fogel.
David Durrell Scott.
Nathaniel Brian Ford.
Zachary Richard Scott.
Lordana Forchi.
Nicole Lynn Seabade.
Nicholas George Forsey.
Adrian Severo Cedillo.
Megan Elizabeth Freeman.
Morgan Alyssa Selbach.
Austin Bradley Fry.
Taylor Caitlin Selbach.
Tanya Gabrielian.
Annalisa Nicole Shaw.
Mackenzie Ray Gades.
Mitchell Drake Shepard.
Jeffrey Aristivi Gallegos.
Peter Napoleon Schliemann.
Bianca Adrene Gamble.
Dana Janine Sims.
Sarah Elizabeth Gilmore.
Sheldon Lee Skeen.
Alex John Gilpin.
Ashley Marie Smack.
Sanaja Morshana Glenn.
Connor Andrew Small.
Taylor Leanne Glidewell.
Jacob Paul Smith.
Ramy Lene Gonzalez.
Jacob Ryan Smith.
Adam Joseph Gray.
Kendra Jatem Smith.
Roland Michael Grijalva.
Taylor Rayanne Summer.
Amani Marie Gross.
Joey Daniel Spittler.
Donovan James Gruntner.
Peyton Ann Spradlin.
Edwin Guerrero Martinez.
Amara Lynn Stack Rosandich.
Austin James Gutierrez.
Alexandria Stevens.
Albert Joseph Guzman.
Nicholas David Stein.
Alexia Julia Guzman.
Austin Tyler Staldorf.
Daniel Sphere Hale.
Brittany Taylor Strong.
Leslie Colette Hallows.
McKenna Maria Stultz.
Marcel Mohammed Ahmed.
Tanner Thomas Sutcliffe.
Seth Stephen Hanner.
Hunter Charles Stiles.
Jennifer Lynn Hansen.
Maram Camille Swice.
Shoaib Ahmad Hassanzada.
Liba Thahid.
Kyle John Hay.
Ariane Rose Tavilla.
Kayana Danielle Hayes.
Brody Douglas Taylor.
Nicole Aaron Hayes.
Anthony Michael Turnack.
Aaron James Heathcott.
Austin Mitchell Thomason.
Emily Caitlin Heathcott.
Alma Cecilia Castillo Tierney.
Zachary Richard Henning.
Trevor Darren Tillman.
Sierra Taylor Hiddleston.
Chelsea Taylor Tippett.
Derek Ryan Hildenbrandt.
Olivia Taylor Tongate.
Bailey Brooke Hilton.
Tristan Matthew Totten.
Hannah Megan Hershey.
Zachary Minkiem Tran.
Haley Ray Hodges.
Kevin James Tretta.
Connor James Hobson.
Adrian Sosi.
John Peter Hobie.
Paul Stephen Tucker.
Elijah Edward Hoff.
Eric Adeling Tuffison.
Pauline Hoffman.
Sabrina Eve Tuning.
Natalie Jane Hull.
Abil Valencia.
Kevin T. Hong.
Kyle Wilhelm Van Gordon.
Troy Ramsey Horak.
Sarah Emanuela Vancia.
Tristan Gregory Horn.
Sarah Marie Vallada.
Jason Allen Houghton.
Valerie Nicole Vidal.
Savannah Marie Hauk.
Mason Tate Wandersea.
Alexis Desiree Hovey.
Christopher Thomas Ward Jr.
Courtney Leanne Huko.
Margaret Ivy Warzinski.
Jordan Ashley Igo.
Kirsten Nicole Watkins.
Sage Suzanne Inman.
Mason James Webb.
Shalai Ray Jackson.
Victoria Louise Wiesinger.
Brian Thomas Jarman.
Derek Stephen Welton.
Nicole Marie Jarman.
Madison Nicole Wetnight.
Hannah Ray Jarrell.
Cameron Alexander White.
Kylie Alexis Jimenez.
Spencer Garrett Wickander.
Bryce Lee Johnson.
Emily Ann Kalani Wiggum.
Michaela Christine Johnson.
Taryn Sage Williford.
Xavier Denzel Johnson.
Cambria Marie Wilson.
Zachary Morgan Johnson.
Sarah Lynn Wilson.
Tanner Lee Johnston.
Theodora Paige Winkler.
Cassandra Lynn Jones.
Calvin Ryan Wong.
Michelle Judith Jones.
Austin Philip Woods.
Tyler Henry Jones.
Savannah Lynn Ray.
Nicholas Joshua Jordan.
Briley Danielle Wright.
Myung Jin Jung.
Alexander Stephen Yoder.
Jessica Lynn Case.
Joshua David Yodis.
Keith Allen Keeler III.
Hak Young Yoon.
Catherine Ann Keena.
Christopher Michael Sabachnik.
Adam Lee Kemp.
Lene Christina Zurich.
Jacob Alexander Kearns. Ariana Nicole Krause. Charles Nathaniel Kolinek. Sydney Taylor Kaniski. Nicolette Christine Cavalli. Wu Jin Kwan. Mandolin Lee Lang.
They already said you. Oh, logjam.
Got my rhythm off.
Class of 2015, Sunrise Mountain High School, please stand. Students, you may now move your tassels to the left. It is with great pleasure that I pronounce you graduates of Sunrise Mountain High School, class of 2015. God bless you, thank you, and congratulations.